Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon, and Super Nintendo World is open in California, in Hollywood, Universal Studios. And I really, truly hope that video game journos who are having issues with J.K. Rowling and with Hogwarts Legacy aren't planning on attending Universal anytime soon, because I want you to know that if you spend any money at Universal, if you buy a ticket to get into a Universal theme park, some of that money is going to J.K. Rowling, whether you like it or not. So you better not plan on going to a Universal theme park anytime soon. You better not subscribe to HBO Max, because some of that money is also going to her. You better not buy any Lego sets, even if they're not Harry Potter, because I guarantee you the way that, money works, some of that money is probably going to her licensing fee. So if you're going to boycott J.K. Rowling completely, you need to boycott everything that is even remotely associated with her. Scholastic, they still publish her books. Yeah, don't buy anything from Scholastic then, right? I'm just saying, if you're going to follow this to its logical conclusion and you're going to try to separate J.K. Rowling from her money, there are a lot of other things you're going to have to give up, because it's not that easy. So let's talk about this. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. Guys, over, 294, almost 300,000 subs. Thank you for the support. Geeky sitting this video out. Make sure you're subscribed. Hit the bell for notifications. We are trying to get to 300,000. It's been a long time coming, but thank you so much for the support. We're going to talk about Super Nintendo World. It is open. It looks amazing. And it's interesting that some of the video game news sites that are critical of J.K. Rowling are actually not covering it at all. I can tell. I don't think that Kotaku's been covering Super Nintendo World at all. I'm trying to find. They did. Let's see. Critically, Kotaku talked about critically. I don't think they've been invited. Polygon got invited, but Kotaku said that the Mario Kart ride can only be ridden by thin people, and I think they're angry they didn't get an invite. Polygon got an exclusive sneak peek. They did. They sent their reporters out. They got a sneak peek, but they're also reviewing Hogwarts Legacy, but they said it's not very good, and they spent half the article talking about J.K. Rowling, of course, but at least they reviewed it. I think Kotaku refused to review it. The Gamer refused to review it. We know Wired reviewed it, but gave it a 1 out of 10, because that's journalistic integrity. That is. Talking about Hogwarts Legacy on Polygon being an unreadable battleground. But yeah, this is going to be interesting to see what happens with Super Nintendo World. Because again, you can't separate this from Hogwarts, from J.K. Rowling. Because if you go to Universal theme parks, she is getting a portion of that money each and every year. Even if you're not buying butterbeer, even if you go to the park and don't ride any Harry Potter rides or buy any Harry Potter merchandise, she gets a stipend every year from Universal. And I guarantee you that that is factored into the price of the ticket, just like Nintendo is going to get, money every year from Universal. Weirdly enough, I found out that Nintendo tried to buy the rights to Harry Potter like years ago, which is very weird. So it's all kind of coming full circle now. But yeah, so I would say keep an eye on gaming journos. And if you catch any gaming journos who have been critical of Hogwarts Legacy and who have called for a boycott of Hogwarts Legacy, and you catch them going to Universal, catch them posting pictures, enjoying Super Nintendo World, I hope you call them out for their hypocrisy, because somebody needs to. But let's talk about how she actually gets paid here. This is coming from Orlando Park Stop. I think we brought this up before. This is Alicia Stella, who's actually very, very good at reporting on Universal. And she's talking about the Potter contracts. And I think the Potter contracts go through 2029. And it is a different contract than they have with Marvel. But here, this is where the money comes into play. There are two main ways that Warner Brothers et al., meaning J.K. Rowling, get paid from Universal according to the contract. The first one is a guaranteed fee, which is paid every year on July 1st. Confidential treatment has been requested for this agreement, so actual money amounts are not disclosed in the public version of the document. It's still interesting to see how often payments are made, and perhaps more interestingly, when the agreement is renewed. So 2009 to 2019, and now we're 2019 through 2029. This is when J.K. Rowling gets paid. Warner Brothers gets paid. Said amount paid annually actually increases every 3 years, beginning in 2012, to keep in line with inflation. According to the agreement, the increase is a percentage equal to the percentage increase in the Consumer Price Index, published by the U.S. Department of Labor Bureau and Labor Statistics. It's worth noting that this is a guaranteed payment schedule, and it appears to say that Warner Brothers and J.K. Rowling are not paid a percentage of the door. So basically, they get paid. She gets paid out of the tickets, though. She does. It's not a percentage of the door. They do not receive a set percentage of all ticket sales. They're paid a set amount annually, regardless of the number of visitors to the park. But that money is coming out of ticket sales, out of merchandise sales, out of hotels. You know, you can't separate the money and say, like, okay, well, you can't say, well, I'm going to Universal and I'm staying at this hotel and I'm not going to visit the Wizarding World, but I don't want any of my money to go to J.K. Rowling. You don't get to determine that. The fact that Universal does well means that they continue to pay her, and you can't separate it, right? Here are the royalty payments. So the Potter rights holders do not appear to earn a cut of ticket sales. They do earn a cut of everything earned from anything purchased that is even remotely related to the Harry Potter rights themselves. Every time you purchase butterbeer, a licensed product, an on-ride photograph, or even a bottle of Gilly water from one of the lands at Universal around the world, a percentage of that sale goes directly to the rights holders. Speaking of Gilly water, the contract explains how every single item for sale within the Wizarding World that is not a Harry Potter licensed product must be approved in writing prior to being sold. It's that clause that helped keep Coca-Cola products out of the Wizarding World. Yeah, apparently wizards don't like Coke. That's for muggles. It can be assumed that Warner Brothers and J.K. Rowling would benefit greatly by keeping other beverage offerings out of the themed lands, because now guests are left with only themed drinks, which they presumably receive a cut of the profits from. So unlike Star Wars, for some reason in a galaxy far, far away, you can buy thermal detonator Cokes, which makes no damn sense. But at least they're keeping with the theme. Like, this is supposed to be the Wizarding World. All of this stuff is supposed to exist in the Wizarding World. So it is another level of immersion, but it's also smart business. Like, you're thirsty, you buy a butterbeer, you buy a pumpkin juice. That's it. Or you leave the land and go get your Coke, somewhere else. Every drink or food item that has a little trademark logo next to it on the menu or was created for use within the books and films is an item that a portion of your purchase will go to out of the license holders. Merchandise, on the other hand, isn't so straightforward. If the merchandise was created specifically for Universal, then a percentage of the wholesale price is paid to the rights holders. If a piece of the merchandise already exists in the world and is not exclusive to the parks, then Universal is not obligated to pay the rights holders for its sale. So blah, 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 blah. So yeah, she gets paid directly if you buy stuff. She does not get paid directly out of ticket sales, but in a roundabout way she does. It's not like she's getting like $10 every time you go through the turnstile, but that money is being used to pay her annual, fee that she's owed. And now through 2029, I guarantee you it's going to be renewed. It's not like they've got so much Harry Potter and Universal, they can't take it out. There's no way in hell they can take it out. It's embedded in the park. You can't retheme it. What are you going to retheme Hogwarts as? I mean, seriously, it's freaking Hogwarts. So I keep an eye on this situation. So keep an eye on this. If you catch any games journos who have called for a boycott of Hogwarts, kicking around in Super Nintendo world, again, I hope that you call them out on their hypocrisy, because they're part of the problem. You're part of the problem. You shouldn't be rewarding these companies at all, because they support J.K. Rowling. And again, I want to know why Hogwarts was such a major issue for them. Hogwarts Legacy, and they were not calling for a boycott of the parks that I'm aware of. They were not calling for a boycott of Lego. It could be that these games journos have the video game industry, or at least the media surrounding the video game industry, on lockdown, and they're trying to keep control because they know they really don't have any say when it comes to theme parks. They know they can't talk parents out of buying Legos for their kids, but they can try to control the narrative around video games. Just watch. I really think it's going to be interesting in the months and years to come to see how many video game journos are taking selfies in front of Peach's castle. And be like, well, you just gave J.K. Rowling some money. I hope you're happy. I hope you're satisfied. I'm gonna wrap this up. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We'll talk later.